Welcome back to What the Flick. That's Alonso, that's Christy,
Hello.
I'm Matt. Recent news comes on the heels of, recent developments. People are mad at James Cameron yet again because he's always saying something and people get pissed off. So James Cameron has done an interview with IndieWire, and in that interview, he had said that, maybe the audience is getting a little bit of Avengers fatigue, and maybe there's other sci-fi stories that could be told. They're not getting the budgets and they're not getting to do things because everybody's doing big comic book movies. And he's, bringing it up specifically because of the Avengers, but he's also clearly talking about stuff coming out of DC. And so, he says that, and then people on Twitter, because can't let anything go on Twitter, decided that they were going to roast him. So
let the dragging begin.
Yes.
So Scott Weinberg says the guy planning to make 4 sequels to his Fern Gully remake. Another user, Manic Husky Dream Boy, says, and yet you chose to remake Fern Gully. There's another one. What else? Yes, like a 6. Yeah, he wants.
I mean, can we just agree this is not a good look for James Cameron?
No.
Like, come on.
But does he even care whether anything is a good look at this point?
Obviously, but it's just like if you're going to
to
traffic in these sort of mega entertainments, then don't crap on the other people making the mega. Like it's tacky. I'm sorry.
Right, and what's particularly irritating about that is that he also goes on to admit, I don't know where tastes are going in respects to science fiction because he hasn't made a TV show or movie in a while, right?
Well,
He's been working on all the, whatchamacallit?
Avatar.
Avatar movies.
Well,
yeah.
then don't lash out at people who are in the mix.
But we're still seeing, there are still interesting sci-fi things happening, right? Like Black Mirror is terrific. We just talked in our last segment about Under the Skin. That's only 3 or 4 years ago.
Annihilation.
Across the spectrum of budgets, we're still getting, I think, interesting sci-fi stuff.
Stranger Things 3 is coming out.
Yeah, it's not like he's competing with the Duplass brothers at this point. He's competing with the other sort of big franchisey stuff, and it's like, then, show a little class and just be like, hope that the rising tide is good for all boats, including Avatars 2 through 5, if that's what you're going to do.
Right. I do think it's amusing that he's complaining about so many movies while he's planning 4 more of his own story.
There's no awareness, but also there's the theory out there that he is newly mad about this because Black Panther has now surpassed Avatar on the highest grossing film. Oh, you're right, Titanic, yes, on the highest grossing films of all time list, yeah.
But here's the thing, and we talked about this when Avatar turned 10 recently.
Is it 10?
It was a year or two ago. It turned 10. Nobody talks about Avatar. Like, think about how much Star Wars has permeated the metaphors we make and the lines that we quote and the concepts of how things work. And
because the dialogue in that movie is terrible.
Yeah, we discuss things about Star Wars. Nobody remembers Avatar. It was a huge hit. We all saw it. But no one has thought about that movie in ages. No one says, oh, it's just like Na'vi. Like, nobody talks about Avatar. So it's like, Cameron needs to stop trash talking the competition and up his game because, he made this hit movie that has had zero footprint on the pop culture.
Right, and there are movies of his that we do quote, right? Like we say, "I'll be back." We say stuff.
It's a bug hunt, game over, man.
Right, but the most memorable line in Avatar is probably when the Colonel says, "We're not in Kansas anymore," and that's not Cameron's line.
That's fast. Yeah.
So
I mean, we quote Titanic all the time. People still say "King of the World" and "Draw me like one of your French girls" or whatever.
You might say that
all the time to every artist I've ever met. No,
Britney Spears quotes it in "Oops, I Did It Again." She goes,
I say that every time I get my driver's license.
No, not that. The thing with the necklace being dropped at the bottom of the ocean. Baby, I went down and got it for you. This is a whole spoken word segment. Am I the only one who knows this?
Apparently you are in this room.
Anyways, no one cares, but she hasn't won an Avatar movie.
No,
I don't know who does. I don't care. I didn't like the first one. I don't want any more.
I thought the first one was fine, and I think he kind of, I think, visually transcended a lot of what we expected. Like, that is the movie we have to blame for the 3D craze, let's not forget. But in his defense, he made 3D look amazing. That was such an immersive experience. But again, no one talks about Avatar, no one quotes Avatar, no one cites Avatar. So if you're gonna be this late with the sequels, they better have something to say.
I kind of wish James Cameron would just use his 3D powers for good. Like just keep going down to the bottom of like sunken ships at the bottom of the ocean.
More
like,
documentaries, James Cameron.
Yeah, no, and he has pioneered a lot of really cool 3D technology for really interesting nonfiction stuff. So maybe more of that and less of the Na'vi.
All right. In other sci-fi news, there's a new print of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes.
It's going to hit theaters. Christopher Nolan is presenting this new 70mm print. For the
It's no Avatar.
What's no Avatar, right? But it's an unrestored 70mm print pulled from the original negatives. For the first time since the original release, this print was struck from new printing elements made with the original camera negative. This is a true photochemical film recreation. Nolan explains on his official site, there are no digital tricks, remastered effects, or revisionist edits. This is the unrestored film that recreates a cinematic event that audience experienced 50 years ago.
That's so cool, and it makes so much sense for Nolan to do that because projection is so important to him. A 70mm film, like shooting on film, is so important to him. There's at the Universal City Walk is a place where I think, did we all see Interstellar there? I saw Interstellar there, and that is Nolan's like preferred IMAX 3D place.
I saw Dunkirk there.
Okay.
I saw Interstellar at the Chinese.
Did you? I know that he cares so much about like the tangible minutia, and he obsesses about it, so it's really cool. Speaking of using your powers for good,
there you go.
This is using your powers for good, so thank you.
Yeah, I guess he's not on that list that Samsung just announced that they'd had a bunch of filmmakers come and see their new LED style movie screen that they're going to be offering to theaters. It's a whole giant, basically TV monitor that they think will compete with projections. So I'm guessing Nolan did not make it there.
Now, have you guys, either of you guys seen 2001 on a big screen?
Oh yeah, so
20 years ago.
The Egyptian here in Los Angeles screens it in 70mm, usually like once or twice a year. I went. You can see on YouTube the time they showed the Egyptian, and this guy had an acid freak out as the whole like thing started, and they literally had to stop the movie, bring the lights up, drag him out of the theater shrieking, and then like start it over again. You don't get that at home, kids.
Yeah,
Maybe you do. I don't know.
Maybe depending on what you do at home. Yeah.
I saw it at the Cinerama Dome, I think in the late 80s, early 90s, back when there was just a parking lot where everything else is there.
Where the
ArcLight is.
And that whole center is now.
No, I remember
just
that
big parking lot.
Well, because and it's interesting that you mentioned Cinerama because there was a point where like things were going out with the sort of Cinerama branding, but they weren't the 3 projector Cinerama. Right. It was like a sort of Cinerama 70, and I'm sure some nerd is going to tell me in the notes exactly how this works. I'm not a big format guy. Anyway, but so that's what we're getting in this one, I imagine. So that's very exciting to see.
Yeah, I think I'll try and go see it, although Bart just told us at one of the breaks that at least one of the screenings that they've announced in LA is already sold out.
They've got to let us see it. Please let us see it.
Yeah, so maybe they'll screen it for us. I wonder how that one ends. Maybe it's a different ending.
Musical.
There is a new trailer out that he's done that Nolan seems related to, and the new trailer is pretty good.
It gave me chills.
It's
Movie
very
I've seen many times. I'm like excited to see it all over again now. So.
All right, so that's it for this week. You are going to see Avengers tonight.
I am.
You're going tomorrow night.
We're going tomorrow night. Oh no, you're going tomorrow morning.
If you're in Dallas, I'm at the USA Film Festival this week. Come check it out.
All right.
Say hi.
Thanks for joining us this week. And if there's other stuff that you want to react to, follow us on Twitter at TYTWTF and tell us what movies you want us to cover. Maybe we'll get to them. Thank you.